Hello. So in this video, I think the final SketchUp Basics video will be covering the scaling and offset tools. Both of these tools have to do with creating bigger or smaller versions of a particular object or objects in your SketchUp designs. So let's pull up SketchUp. All right. Let's begin by drawing a square. I want to make mine 4 foot by 4 foot. And we'll begin with the offset tool, which is this button right here. And offsetting is creating a similar object, but the proportions are going to be a little bit different. And this works primarily for faces and edges. So if I click on this face, it'll be the same thing as selecting all the edges. If I click F, that's the hotkey for the offset tool. And you'll notice that I can create bigger or smaller squares. And the way the offset tool works is by creating a distance from a particular point on your object. So it could be an endpoint, it could also be a midpoint. We want to essentially offset it or give it a little bit of distance from our object by so many feet, inches, or meters. So I'm going to make this 1 foot away and then 1 foot, whoops, 1 foot away, and then I'll offset it again 1 foot in. So you'll notice that we've added a foot on each side. So we added a foot over here, and we added a foot over here for an additional 2 feet for this entire edge. Likewise, we lost a foot from each side, so we've created a 2-foot square on the inside here. Now, the offset tool could be used for a number of things. I know I can't think of all of them, but this tool comes in handy for using it for creating ponds and creating trenches and swales, which will be in a later video or videos in the SketchUp series. So onward. The next tool is the scaling tool, and we'll draw a 4 foot by 4 foot square again and then make that into a cube. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scale this cube, and there's a number of ways that you can scale an object. So the hotkey is the letter S, and the scaling tool actually isn't even on this toolbar menu. If you don't want to learn the hotkeys, you can go to Tools and click Scale, and you'll get the same thing. So the scaling tool works by selecting a particular point, which will then coincide with the opposite point to create a bigger or larger object within those axes. So in this corner, it'll actually scale on the red, green, and blue axes. So you only have to scale, you can type it in, I want to scale this 1.5 times or 2 times bigger than our initial size. So 2 times bigger, we should get 8-foot edges. Now I'm going to go ahead and we'll scale it back. So 0.5. I'll bring us back down to 4 feet. You can also just scale along a single axis, which will be very similar to your push-pull tool. You can scale along 2 axes, and this works kind of like your rectangle tool. You can type in the scale for each axis in the bottom right-hand corner with a comma to delineate each axis. So from this one, it'll be red on the left-hand side and blue on the right hand. Over here, it would be green and blue, and here would just be green, red, and blue. So a couple different ways you can scale the object, and you can also scale single faces, yeah, that's it. You can only scale single faces or the entire object. So that's the offset tool and the scaling tool. So enjoy. Bye-bye.